I've got a few new tricks up my sleeve today in this makeup tutorial. Do you do your makeup in the same order every day? I do. I start with my eyebrows, my eyeshadow, cheeks, and then finish off with my lips. Now, that's probably true for most of us because we're all type 2s and we have a rhythm and a pattern to things that we do. Now, if you were to ask my mother, Carol, she says she does it different every day. I can't fathom that because you start here and you work down. But today, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to start first with my lipstick. And there's a reason for this. This is a new color for me. It has more brown in it. It's like a pinky brown, really beautiful. But it took a while for it to grow on me because I wasn't sure how to pair it with eyeshadow or what blush to wear with because I'm used to wearing a lot of purples or more pure pinks. And so I thought, you know what, I think the best solution rather than just look at the lipstick and try and figure it out and do my eyes first, put the lipstick on and then I'll show you what the next step is. So let's get started with the lip liner first. And I love using a lip liner because it just enhances the fullness of your lips and helps the lipstick last just a little longer. I should mention I already have lip primer on, which really helps to bring out the color and helps the lipstick to last longer. I love the finish of this lipstick. It has a matte finish, but I feel like the color just really gets accentuated with this nice finish and it lasts long. It's a really beautiful color. Now I'm going to keep working backwards and do my cheeks next. This is a really beautiful, kind of a reddish. This would be our red blush for type 2s. If you were to compare it to the type 4 red, you would say that's not red at all because they have a very, very bold red. But this has just enough of that red color that you could definitely get away with wearing this with your red lipsticks, your red clothes. Use it very light-handedly because it is a more saturated color. If you have a lighter complexion, use less. If you have a darker complexion, you can definitely use a little bit more. But you really just light tap. You can even tap and then tap on your hand if you need to. Get it off. And I think the lipstick and the blush work beautifully together. All right, now what colors should we use for the eyes? This is the trick that I did at home when I was trying to figure out what am I going to do. I took my palette of all my beautiful type 2 eyeshadows and I held them up to my lips and my cheeks and I said, which ones do I think vibe? Which ones have a similar undertone? They don't have to be matchy-matchy, but like what is pulling to you? So your choice may be different than what I've chosen, but I was drawn to these two lines in here. We've got the mauves, pinks, some of those browns I felt like would really play with it nicely. For a full list of the exact colors that I've used in this tutorial, head to the store and you can see the collection. Everything is tagged right there. I'm also excited to show you something a little different in today's tutorial, which is the application of the eyeshadow. So I'm going to start with this medium pink shade because you could do any kind of medium shade. And I'm using the angled eyeshadow brush, just tapping that in. And usually I do a C shape. Today I'm going to do a straight line. Now that, is more of a type 4 movement, but once you add the other colors, it will create a softened oval. But I felt that using the straight line really helped to keep the colors clean and more defined. And it was easier because it just was a little less application. So you can see it's a very softened line. But rather than curving down, I'm going straight out. And because of my eye shape, which is a little bit heavy lidded, I go above my crease to apply this right on that bone and over a little. I didn't even do a wash for this look. We're keeping it real simple, just 3 colors. And like I said, I've used primers. So I've used the eye primer, which makes a big difference in the color being able to show up and how much product you actually have to use. Okay, so there are my 2 straight lines. Looks a little unfinished. So now we're going to go to the next color, which is also a medium shade. You could go darker. I wouldn't go lighter, so I'd keep it medium to dark. I'm going to use this one. This has a little bit of sparkle. I love to mix and match matte with shimmer. And for this application, I'm using our fluffy brush. And I'm going to just tap that in, get it pretty coated. Can blow a little off. And then I'm going to start right under that line and move all over my lid. And you can see if I would have brought that pink all the way down, the color would have gotten maybe just a little bit muddy or saturated. Which is fine if you want to blend more, but I wanted to keep them a little more separated. So you've got the pink on the top, this shimmer on the bottom, blending together. That's why it's nice to use this blending brush instead of a flat brush, because then you can really soften it overall. Do the same thing. I always start from the outside because your first application will be darker, and I want the darker color to be on the outside rather than on the inside of my eye. If I started here, I'd have a lot of erasing to do. So start on the outside, bring it over. And sometimes I'll leave my inside of my lid with no shadow and keep it light, but I liked bringing it all the way over, especially since it's a medium shade. It's not getting too heavy. And then you can just use your fingers. You don't want anything pulling out too far, or get a tissue and just kind of wipe up. It really stayed in place because of the eye primer, so we're set there. For my last color, I'm going to use a light shade. So again, holding it up, what do I feel like is going to match? I feel like that purple's a little bit too bright, more cool based than what I've got going on here. So I'm going to use this middle shimmer just to add a little bit of brightness. I'm using a fluffy brush from our Duo. I'm just going to add a little bit right there. You can see these are the points where you want to add those highlighters. The inside of your eye. And then under your brow. You can go into that top color again to just kind of soften and blend. The advantage again of using a softer brush. Now I wouldn't want to use this one necessarily because I'm wanting to get right under my brow. And this one is a little bit flatter and more precise. So that's going to help me accomplish that. Okay. I think those blend together very nicely and really accentuate the lip color. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to use a brown. This is an automatic eyeliner. So it's not a pencil that you sharpen. You roll it up. This has a lot of staying power. And so I like this one for just that classic liner look. I'm just going to keep it really close to the eyelash. It's very dark. You can see even just a little bit how it adds that definition and helps to thicken the lashes. And just go really light-handed with these pencils because it just gets on there and it is powerful. But it's such a beautiful brown. And then, ta-da, little smudger right there. I'm just going to softly... I want to keep the line thin, so the more you smudge, it would kind of grow the line and become a little more diffused. Smudge to your taste, whatever suits you. But I love that it's just right there because this is definitely a step as type 2s to just soften that eyeliner. And you know what? It's not just for the look. It helps it last longer too because you're really just working it in. And the results are just a more softened, even line. You get rid of any of those bumps. And then I'm going to just do the teeniest little line right there. I tried this look before and I moved it all the way to the half and it was just too much frame for my eye. So really just keeping it a short line. And then when you use the smudger, you can extend that line and just use that product that's you're moving over or what's left on the smudge from the top of your eye. So there's a liner, and now it looks like I need some mascara. I'm always surprised after I do liner, like how my eyes are just wanting the mascara to really bring the look home. So we're going to use this eyelash curler. My eyelashes are so great. They just have a natural slant downward, so I always use the eyelash curler to help boost them up. And I'm just using our brown mascara. This has some fibers in it that help to thicken the lashes, which is lovely. Now be careful when you apply your mascara after you've done such a lovely job on your eyeshadow. You don't want to get it all smudgy. So I go really light-handed in my first application, let it dry, and then I come back for a second rather than trying to get it all on the first time, because then that's usually where I'll end up getting messy. Then you're trying to get a Q-tip in there or wipe it off and then having to go back and fix. So now I'll do my second coat. And there's a nice base there that I can work a little bit more vigorously into the lashes. And then, of course, using our eyelash definer to just even it out. And then I always pull it down to the bottom. That's another area where you can, if you try to get your bottom lashes, you look up, it smudges on your eye, and you're dealing with the same problem. So that's why I love this eyelash definer. It keeps it clean. I'm able to just kind of slap the mascara on there quickly and then go through it a little more precisely with this definer, and then cover my bottom lashes as well, just enough to complete the look. Easy as that. 3 eyeshadow colors, simple applications, a beautiful brown lipstick. Try this one at home. Again, for all the specifics and colors, head over to the store to check out the collections.